So this lesson is all about just useful things you can do on your calculator. There's a reason it costs $120. We can learn a lot about a function just by graphing it on our calculator. Do want to use on these the calculator that you have. You're going to get more out of it. So use your TI-84. Don't use Desmos or something like that because you can't use Desmos on the AP exam. We're going to start with domain and range, and you guys know probably from Algebra 2 that really what these questions are asking is just which x values are occupied by the graph of the function, or for range, which y values are occupied by the graph of the function. So the move here for both of these is graph it on your calculator and then look at the graph or the table. And just the other thing is just make sure you read. So this one says range. So we're looking at y values. My other one is x values. So for my first one here, I have an absolute value function. I'm going to type it in negative, and then here's something that you might not know. Math over 1 to numbers, and then ABS here is absolute value. So I would type this one in with me to practice. And then I get that little absolute value bar, x plus 7. And there's my function, it matches. I'm going to hit graph, and there it is. So you may not have a graph that looks like this. If you do not, hit zoom and then hit the number 6. So zoom standard is like a reset button, and that recenters your window. So sometimes your window gets messed up, says things other than -10 to 10. You can also like zoom in, zoom out. So if I zoom out a little bit, notice I get a slightly different graph. And then if I hit zoom 6, I reset. Okay, so my range is the y values of the function. So notice it goes down forever, but my y has like a maximum up here. So to figure out what that maximum is, what I might do is go, notice that's at x equals 0. So I might hit second and then hit the table button, and this gives me a table of values. And notice my biggest y value is 7, right? So my range, the way I write that down in interval notation, is -infinity to 7, and 7 gets a bracket because 7 is included. So 7 is the biggest value. It's not always less than 7. And then for my second function here, I'm asked to find the domain. So again, I'm going to type it into the grapher. Notice the x is in my exponent. I'm going to look at the graph. Domain is the x value. So here it's kind of hard to see. I might zoom out a little bit. And notice it goes like straight up, but it actually keeps going forever. So it's, what I might do is look at the table and scroll down for a while. And notice my y values get really big really quickly, but my x's just keep going. There's never an x for which the whole function is undefined. So my domain in this case is all real numbers, or the way I can write down is just -infinity to infinity. Any x value I'm allowed to plug into this function. And the last thing we'll capture here is just a reminder on notation for these problems. So this is called, we'll call it interval notation. So we use a bracket, a square bracket, to represent when a value is included, and parentheses to represent when it is not. So to rewrite this example in your inequality notation, really what this says is 5 is less than or equal to x is strictly less than 9. So we'd have like an open circle on 9, but a closed circle on 5. So you'll use this notation to write down your domains and ranges. And that's why we use this square bracket for 7, because 7 was part of the graph of f here.